go ahead.
All right. So previously, the group of you have been in town for the High Harvest Festival in Elderthorn, which was interrupted by these strange creatures that were tearing out and looking at the entrails of others. You've done a bit of an investigation around town after having the hearing for Siegfried, and come to the conclusion that these were creatures whose future was stolen from them. Their future potential was robbed away. As you've been banding about, you've also learned that one of the Death Deniers was seen in town at one point. You had snuck aboard a merchant ship and learned that Lend, the archer, which a few of you have encountered in the past, was seemingly one of the individuals who had bartered passage on the ship that some of the individuals who became these creatures under your suspicion had also come in on. Lend, as far as you know, is nowhere to be seen. You've done a little bit of looking around town and you've not spotted him successfully. As of now, his presence in Elderthorn is still unknown, beyond your suspicions and the telltale signs of the items of some of the Death Deniers, specifically Gwen or Temel, likely having been lended to Lend for this journey, whatever it may be. This is where we're picking up at the beginning of a day here in Elderthorn. What would you like to do?
Well, we can either make a very concerted effort to find land, or we can try to track him out of Elderthorn, because he was here.
Mm. Well, land
Where
is
would he
very
go, Dunan?
land is very skillful when it comes to hiding his tracks. So
Yeah.
so I think
Okay. So do we go?
directed with him, that's our best bet. But tracking him, nah,
Okay.
that's not gonna work.
So he was by himself. Where would everybody else be, Dunan? You have the best feel for the way these
Allegedly,
assholes think.
allegedly, so
Yeah.
we
Would they go to the
I don't know.
Pinwood? What would they do?
I'm still pondering about what they were doing here or what was their intent. I mean, we know that those sailors, were they sailors that
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
became monsters?
So there was a captain that the captain of
Yeah.
the ship that you had narrowed down on, and two people who had bartered passage as workers, as deckhands, um, or some degree of security, seemingly. Um, but that's all you sort of narrowed down on these individuals. They're not from Elderthorn, so
But we assume that they were the ones that transformed into.
correct. No,
Yeah.
they're the as far as you know at this point they are the only individuals unaccounted for.
And
In and
these are
around
the
the
only
Talfa.
individuals we know that interacted with Land because he was the one aboard the ship.
You suspect that they have, yeah,
Yeah,
of time under passage. It's not by any means a stretch to believe that they've interacted with Lynn.
but we have no further lead on Land.
Correct.
I mean, usually Land is resupplying before he went out. Before he goes out. So Gogron might be a good bet, or maybe
Yeah.
Emil, and maybe Kelpip. I'm not sure. Usually
Okay. Well,
would not interact with Blackburn. I don't think so.
no. Okay. So let's split up. I'll go talk to Gogron.
I'll
Which
take
one of you
Emil.
wants to?
So
I'll take Emil then.
you guys did go to Kelpip already. That's how
Okay.
you narrowed down that Lend was likely in town, the arrow that Jaya recovered from the ship that was enchanted seemingly was one of the ones from Len's quiver, which bestows an enchantment onto the quiver. Kelp had mentioned that he knew someone who had such a quiver, but this was years ago and has not seen him since. He had tried
Well,
to
that
buy it
leaves,
and was not able to.
well, that leaves Gokran. He's a general goods supplier, right?
Yeah.
So he probably Land would restock before venturing out. So Gokran, or
Yeah.
maybe he needs some equipment maintained, the meal, but that's all I got.
I could try to reach out to him. When I tried before, it was to the leader.
Message him, right? That's what you mean. I don't think that
But
he
what
would.
would our
Yeah,
message
you
be?
you have met Lent, Tang. Yeah, he helps you
Uh-huh.
fight a voice.
Yeah.
I don't think he would be truthful or tell us where his whereabouts are.
What would we ask him anyway? If he knows anything about the monsters? What do we need from him except for the fact that we suspect he's up to no good?
That's a good question. We can't let him know that we know that he has been here. So
Right. Okay. So I would say we ask around, see if anybody has seen him.
yeah.
And if nobody, who would be the obvious people, provisioners or of food, provisioners of equipment, then we just need to go where we think we need to go, which is the Pinwood. Are we going to the Pinwood?
I thought the plan was to go finish the staff and then come back to deal with the corruption in the Pinwood.
That was the most recently discussed. Was um, uh, go with Aeolus towards what you guys suspect is Brigand's Hold.
Yeah, that's what the staff was pointing, right?
Mm.
The
Or do we want to do that when Aeolus is off fucking around?
You don't know how long you'll
There's
be
less
in Brigand's
likelihood
Hold.
of him dying if we do that.
Let me pull up Aeolus's character sheet so he can roll into initiatives also.
Okay.
Well, let's
Did we
visit
figure out a
Gokran
way
first.
to conceal Jaya?
That's the other thing the group of you were discussing. Seems to be survey was no, but
Okay, we gotta figure out a way to do that.
What does her little room work? It's a knife that you stick into something?
yeah,
Yeah. What if
we can't move it? I don't think.
no.
Well, what if we stuck it into something small enough that we could carry it? Does it have to be the
It has to be static.
piece of wood?
Once it's moved.
Has to be static.
Once it's moved.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
She'll let you know that the moment that you move the thing, the spell ends.
Okay.
I'm trying to see if in my herbarium if there's any like potions or anything that we can use to change her appearance temporarily.
Ellie has alter self, but that's just herself. Well, we're in a pickle, aren't we?
We are. We really are. We've got nothing that can change her appearance. What magic caster is she again?
Wizard.
She's a wizard. Can we get her a scroll of disguise self?
She has 3, but there's scrolls, so she needs to spend time copying them.
Okay, so she can do that while we're doing whatever we're doing today, and then she'll be okay.
Okay.
Great.
Okay.
As long as she has a spell that she can use, that she can learn, I'm happy. I don't need to do anything else. I do want to spend some time crafting some potions today.
Okay. So I don't trust myself, Dunan. I'm kind of over everything until things settle down. So can you go talk to Emil and I'll go talk to Gogren?
Right? Sure.
Okay. Just let me know if she asks where I am.
All right. Should I
If she doesn't, don't worry.
actively ask her, or should I?
No.
All right.
No
Just
active asking, no poking around.
just make it clear for the damn dwarf, all right?
Yeah. So okay, so
What was the
Heli'll
what was
head
the
off.
brother's name? Something with A. Emil and Andre.
Andre.
Andre, yeah.
All right, I'll handle the amber braids, and you go to Gogron.
Okay. Do. Sorry.
Who wants to go
I'm
first?
acting it out. I'll go first. Gogren's closer,
Okay.
probably, to where we're sitting.
After you.
Hey. Gogren.
Oh, I'm glad to see you're safe.
Oh yeah. What do you think? What do you think I would do? Do you think I would be unsafe? No.
Better
Anyhow,
to make sure.
of course.
How long are you guys staying in town?
We are probably only going to be here another day or so. Siegfried needs to find out. Did Siegfried find out if he was actually accepted into the Avowed?
No, he's missed the sessions since then.
So he's missed the session since then. So we'll probably be here long enough for Siegfried to at least get a feel for what's happening and take his official orders for it. But hopefully not more than a day or so.
Okay. As long as you're being safe. Do you need anything?
No, but we are checking to see. We're looking for somebody who was on the ship that the unfortunate souls who turned into monsters at
that
the
was
festival.
pretty freaky.
Yeah, that was a messed up. But he's actually missing. He's the only person missing besides those three. Then we assumed that they had been turned into the monsters. We're wondering
Okay.
if he had checked in with you to get any kind of
What's he look like?
well, he was fairly tall, dark brown skin, curly hair, um, carrying around. He's armed with a bow.
I think someone stopped through. They picked up some rations, a few 10 days worth, decent bit, and a few odds and ends. Got the feeling
Did
they
he?
weren't sticking around for the festival. This was a few days ago, I want to say.
Okay, so it was well before the festival started.
I mean, if you're buying some of the preserved rations, I'm assuming you're not staying in town. Um,
Yeah.
why carry around the
Okay.
weight if you can just pay for a meal here? Um, but
That's true.
it's possible he's still about. It seemed like a hunter to me. Um,
Yeah, that would be about right. Okay. Did he mention anything to you about where he was going, or was he just a quiet?
no, he was remarkably stoic.
Yeah,
Not very talkative at all. Didn't even
that was
try
good.
to haggle for price. Just paid me the coin that I told him he owed and was off. I don't think he said more
Okay.
than 5 words in here.
Mm, yeah, that sounds about right. Um, okay, dear, thank you. You didn't happen to see what direction he walked in when he left.
Wasn't
If you
looking.
took a right or left out there. Okay.
Didn't seem important at the time. I'm sorry.
No. That's nothing you should have ever looked for. But just curious if you did. Okay. Well, we're gonna be off as soon as Siegfried finds out if he's been accepted into the Avowed. Do you have any clues on that? I know
I
you're part of the council.
I do, but none that I can share with you.
Okay.
Sorry.
Should we stick
He gives you sort of a
around?
wry smile.
Should we stick around?
He should be present for the announcement one way or another. Be kind
Okay.
of uncouth to not be. And
Yeah, that's true.
if he is confirmed as per his wishes, he'll need to be tattooed as well. So
Yeah. Do you have any idea when that might happen?
should be tomorrow or the day after.
Okay.
One way or another, an announcement will be made. I think we'll be
Okay.
telling Storm Surge, so that way Siegfried can be made aware prior to a public announcement,
Okay. That sounds right.
whether or
Okay,
not
my dear.
he's accepted.
I'll see you around.
You know where I'll be.
Yep. And once Siegfried is gets his news, we'll probably be heading out.
Okay. No, don't feel the need to stop by and let me know. It's always good to see you, though. I'm glad that you're
Yes.
safe after the excitement that what happened.
You knew we would have to go in there and do that. You know that
Still,
that's the way we. Yeah, but
take care.
what it is to be a bloody mad dog. Okay, love you, dear. Bye. Heli will take off and head over to Fuka's for a beer.
Okay. And Dunan, you're headed to the Ember Birds.
Yes, correct.
Okay. Off you go. Easy enough to find. At the moment, Andre manning the front. I think you got shorter since the last time I saw you.
Ah,
Probably wider too.
most likely. How are you doing? How are you holding up, Andre?
Not getting wider.
Sorry, I didn't get that.
You not getting wider for one.
Nah.
You've been sitting on your ass too long.
Nah. You should join us.
I don't want to join you by sitting on my ass.
Why always the insults? Man. Guess I'm reconsidering being a customer here if you keep on insulting me.
Like you could go anywhere else.
Yeah, that's true. Right. I
What?
didn't come
A
here
little
to get
bit of
insulted,
words.
so
Words hurt you more than everything else. Oh my gosh.
did you see a guy, dark skin, looks like a hunter, has a bow?
Sounds familiar.
Yeah.
We had someone come through a few days ago. Picked up a few critters hours. Yeah, his own. I think he was just buying some resupplies. Decent make, paid good coin. Why? Is he wanted for the
I'm
reward?
looking for him.
How much is the reward?
Nah, he's an old pal of mine, and I'm kind of looking for him.
Does he owe you money? Do you owe him money?
Nah, neither.
I
He's been tangled up in some stuff, and I'm just trying to figure out if he was involved in any way.
in the shit that happened in the square.
Kinda, yeah.
Oh fuck me.
He was one of the last persons, or at least he was interacting with those that, transformed. And he's the only lead we got, so
those
trying
things
to
were
figure out
people.
if knows more.
Those things for people?
Yeah, apparently
Yeah.
so, yes.
Fuck. Alright. No.
So kinda
So
kinda important business.
yeah, no, didn't buy much, but maybe 40 hours. Seemed like he was headed out on a hunt. He had a big pack on.
Did he
Hmm.
did he mention in any way where he was going?
No, he was pretty quiet.
Yeah, he's a quiet type, I know.
He paid for the arrows. Asked him if he wanted a quiver to go with it. Just shook his head. Didn't even say no. Um, uh, he took him in just some cloth wrap bundles. Fashioned them to his pack and headed out. Fastened them to his pack. Pardon me. Speaking slowly today. But no. I mean, he's cordial as far as a silent type can be. You asked if we had
Kinda biting
arrows,
us in the ass.
so sold them arrows.
Crack. Shit. That's not much going on.
No. He didn't seem to particularly care about the type of head on the arrow either. If you like if he was going after deer or bear or any larger game, or nastier creatures, like you think he might, just wanted some arrows. Not sure if he's planning to refashion the tips himself, but anything else I can help with?
Nah, that was plenty. Unfortunately, it didn't avail too much. But well,
All right. Well, when you get the reward money, you owe me half.
sure, man.
Gotta remember that.
Alright, I hope Heliwrast was more successful than I. But thanks, Andre.
Pleasure. See ya. All right. And Tang, what are you up to?
Is there an apothecary in town?
There is not.
Okay, or an herbalist?
There is not.
Okay,
Um,
I'm gonna.
Froen Tea Dance. This was before you had joined. Froen Tea Dance was an apothecary and herbalist from Armskirk that Mayor Tadell had hired to come and quote look after Nara.
Is that the
Because
one that died?
that's the one that died.
They
Yeah.
broke into the siblings' house when I wasn't at
Yep.
that session.
Broke into her house, and the sibling Liam caught them breaking into the house. Yeah. But she was hired from Armskirk because Elderthorn does not have an apothecary or herbalist because it is a smaller community on the grand scale.
Okay. Then I am gonna spend some of my morning hunting the farmland for what am I looking for? Darnell grass. It's an uncommon farmland item or,
Okay.
or ingredient.
All right. Do you have a DC that you need to meet for that?
For searching for it.
Yeah.
Let me look at the foraging guidelines.
I put that in your folder, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Just trying to remember where I have all my files saved.
They have a freshness guide.
Okay, what page are you on?
I'm on page 6, which is foraging basics.
Okay.
They have a freshness guide and a buying, selling, and trading.
Okay. Go ahead and roll me a survival check, looking for that specifically. Alright. Okay, go ahead and roll me 3d6, please. So you find enough for 13 helpings of it, so to speak. 13 enough for 13 uses, whatever use you have in mind for it. You find enough in mind for 13.
Okay.
Pretty good
I
3d6 roll.
Wonderful, thank you. I am then going to head to Aeolus's house and use his kitchen to make multiple concoctions. I'm not sure what, how many I'm allowed to make in one day.
Okay. Sounds good. Do your crafting have a timeline on it?
I'm looking. I'm not sure if it's.
Items, marshland. What page is your concoction on? It should be with the.
Oh well, the darnel grass I was going to make darnel bread, which takes an hour to bake.
Okay, there you
But
go.
the other stuff, like I wanted to make some healing potions.
Okay.
Um,
So healing potion is a basic magic item. I
Mhm.
believe it takes 8 hours of work to work on the healing potion. Now I'll say that you can complete the potion over the course of the day, while the bread is baking in theory. So that's fine, but it takes the dedicated work for the healing potion. At a basic
Okay.
magic item, pardon me, higher level magic items take more time to craft.
Okay. But I can make like a healing potion and
Mm-hmm.
the bread, a loaf
Correct.
of bread in one day.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What
What
about
page is the loaf on?
Huh?
What page is the loaf on?
The loaf is on page 45.
45. Oh, perfect then.
Anyone who eats the bread must succeed on a DC 14 con saving throw or be poisoned for 1d8 hours. Symptoms of the poisoning include hallucinations, convulsions, paralysis, and the sensation of being on fire.
Okay, you have a loaf of poison bread.
Wonderful.
Wonderful. Okay.
And the only other thing I was looking at making right now is the tea of courage.
Tea of courage. Is that in the magic item section or no?
It's in the no, it's 1 second.
You're fine.
It is before the poisons section. It's the last item on page before poisons on 44.
Gotcha. Tea of
It's
courage.
a grassy flavored tea made from steeped thyme leaves. When drunk, you gain either +1 to Constitution or charisma based saving throws made within 1 hour of drinking. So I really just want to dry the thyme leaves so that they last longer.
Okay.
And then I'll have when I want to make it, I'll just steep it for 5 minutes.
Gotcha. Okay. So yeah. So yeah, you can prepare said thyme leaves as you're working, because it sounds like you're not actually making the tea yet. You're just having everything ready. You're preparing tea bags, basically.
Mhm.
Yeah. Sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Great. Okay, so then I have to roll for my healing potion, right? To figure out how strong it is.
I believe so. Yes. Let me jump to.
Yeah. Make a proficiency roll with either Herbalist or Alchemist to determine potency. I'm gonna use Lucky so I can roll with advantage.
Okay. That's in healing potion, I believe. Correct.
Yeah, page 43.
43. Oh, I'm way too far forward. Okay. Healing potion. Perfect. Go ahead and make a roll for me.
Okay, can I give myself guidance as well?
No, this is a course of the trek of 8 hours.
Okay.
So. $18. So it is a potion of greater healing.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Pretty good. Do you mind if I give other people access to the same supplement so they can see what you're working on? Okay.
Yeah.
If anyone wants to see, there's an herbarium supplement inside Tang's folder. And that's what she's working with.
I got really excited because Spencer got me the actual book for my birthday, so I've been very excited to incorporate that into Tang's repertoire.
We'll take a peek. Sounds interesting.
Wonderful. It's very flavorful. All right. So that's your activity over the course of the day in that case, Tang.
Not burning down the house.
No. You're proficient enough that you don't. Aeolus will need to roll to not burn houses. Okay. Does anyone have anything else? Well, I guess Dunan or Heliwrast, do either of you have anything else that you'd like to accomplish over the course of the day? Because your stuff was relatively quick by comparison.
Yeah, Helly will finish your beer and then head over to Aeolus's.
Okay. Easy enough. And just hang out with Tang for the course of the day.
No, not very much.
And share information. Easily done. The day passes in a
I might head to the field again.
Pardon?
Sorry.
I think my thing got all robot-y. Can you guys hear me?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. Alrighty.
Can you hear us?
Yep, I can hear fine. Proceed. So you're Dunan, you said you're headed to the Fated Gate?
Yeah, I'm just trying to ask Buka maybe if she knows anything about land. Maybe he passed by, ate something.
Make me a persuasion check. I'll tell you why in a moment.
If I can find my sheet. Persuasion. Bleh. Nice roll.
It's hard to get her attention. The Fated Gate's relatively threadbare at the moment as far as patrons. It seems like in the aftermath of the attack on Cathedral Square, in the wake of the end of the festival, that was rather abrupt. Most of the people who had come into town that were planning to stay a day or two for the festival and the party, like even though it's only a single day, we're planning to be here a little bit, have decided they'd rather have left early, since the Feast of the Moon is now done. With that said, it's very quiet by comparison to the last day or two. Buka is wrapped up in conversation with Emil, and it's hard to sort of draw her attention away from Emil long enough for you to do much besides order a drink or two. And they're having their own little conversation and party on their own. That doesn't sound like she gets the importance of this individual that passed through, but she lets you know that with all of the people that were coming through, it's entirely possible he stopped in, but if there wasn't anything particularly remarkable about an individual, they're not going to stick in her mind at this point.
Right. Well, it was worth the try.
Yeah. Just not interesting enough to her in that particular moment.
Well, makes sense, yeah.
All right.
Well, maybe I'll just stick around, think an ale or two.
Okay.
Have something to eat.
Day passes
for the
in
others.
comfortable fashion. If nobody has anything else for the day, we can move on to the next day. You can all complete your long rest. That brings us to the second day of Nightle. Second day of true winter. All right. The day is yours. Whatever you like to do.
This is really boring, but I'll just help Tang continue to make potions. So I'm sure she's going to want to do more today.
Yes, I am going to send Heli to go buy me alcohol
Okay.
while I work on another healing potion.
All right.
And she's just going to request for the potions or for you.
For the potions.
Yes.
Okay. So clear, not beer, but like clear grain alcohol.
Mhm.
Okay. Moonshine. Okay.
Yep, moonshine would be exceptional. Thank you.
And who would have that? Would that be Buka or
Mm,
Gogren?
Maybe Buga. Oh,
Buka.
probably both.
Okay. So that go to ask Buka first.
Easily enough.
Did she and
Mark
you
off. Mark off 10 silver. For the
Okay.
bottle. Then she'll sell it to you. No problem. At some point during this day, Siegfried and Aeolus are summoned to Blackburn Keep. To have a discussion with Storm Surge. You gather Siegfried gets his news one way or another at some point during this day.
Okay.
They don't return. They're doing
Okay.
their thing.
Okay.
So,
Not much to do today.
so mechanically, I'm going to ask the group of you, what are you doing over the course of these days, for our session duration? So that way, if you're just spending every day putzing about town making potions, you're more than able to do that in your downtime. That's totally acceptable. But there's other things that are happening on the timeline. I don't know if you guys want me to reveal if Siegfried is confirmed or not. Well, he's not here. Or if you want to drive the story forward at doing something else during this day, as opposed to downtime activities. Are you going to go out of town and try to track down Lend? Are you getting? Are we just gonna? Well, do you want to do Siegfried's confirmation or denial as a flashback once he's back in session? How do you guys want to run it?
I think it's kind of pointless trying to find land.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's where to go. I mean, he could have gone anywhere. So, I mean, if it's
I can try to scry him using my commune because I have that.
it's not gonna reveal his location, right?
Not unless she's familiar with the location itself. So if she hasn't seen the location, it will appear as blank and white. And he'll just be, if I'm recalling scrying correctly. Maybe I'm wrong. Throw scrying in chat for me, please. There's too many different versions of fantasy scrying that throws me off. Never mind, you are able to see the location. I'm mixing this up with a different type of scrying. Yeah, so if you can see Lent, you can see what his surroundings. So it sounds like the idea though is we'll do Siegfried's confirmation or denial a little bit as a flashback when he and Sam are back, hopefully next week. And you guys can proceed towards. It sounds like the intention is to spend a few days of downtime so that way Tang can get you guys stocked up, and then proceed towards
Brigandhold.
Brigandhold. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now,
Operation of Brigandhold. Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
Sorry. Were we able to use the hinge for Brigandhold?
To your understanding, there is a henge in Brigandhold.
Yeah.
And you don't need permission anymore. You just have to pay silver.
Yeah. Correct. Oh, okay.
So, how many
silver?
That's 600 silver, 60 gold. You guys are relatively decently flush at this point.
Okay.
How much would a ship's passage be?
Less. But
Less.
it takes time. Yeah, you guys have 163 gold and 12 platinum. Like it'd be half of your platinum, 6 platinum, and you could use the hurdles. Keep in mind, you have actually be using all of your platinum, because one henge to come into Urcrypt, and then the other henge to leave.
Why we can teleport to crypt with
That's
the
true.
helmet.
That's true, yeah.
Yeah.
But I
Then
can
only half
teleport
of your
to
platinum.
Bring and Hold.
That is also true, yeah. So it'd be half of your platinum then. Because you have 12. So you don't have to spend the outgoing.
And it's gonna be fun to talk.
The only drawback at that point, though, is if you teleport into Urcrypt and then take the henge to Brick and Hold, you all have a stack of exhaustion, naturally because of the henge, but then you don't have to teleport out of Brick and Hold that day. So that's the trade-off there.
Well,
so you could either pay more money to have the teleport ready for you to get out of Brick and Hold, or the other way around. Up
Or
to you.
spend an overnight at our crypt.
Yeah, true. Now keep in mind, exhaustion isn't just a penalty to D20 checks now. So all D20 tests it's just a stacking penalty of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then at 6 you die. So even 2 levels of exhaustion. There's a small speed penalty of 10 feet if you have 2 levels, like if you do henge. So you have a small speed penalty for the day. And a -2 to your D20 tests, but that's far better than old exhaustion, which you'd be at disadvantage for all checks at 2 levels, or at 1 level. Pardon me.
The one thing that I want to bring up is, if we're just going for information and to try to find that, could we not take Jaya? Is it important for her to come, except for the fact that she's a good fighter? Or could she go to the to Urcrypt and wait for us there and come if we need her? There's something about this that's the thing that's making this hard to do, is making sure Jaya isn't killed. Is it important that she goes?
I'm not splitting the party across 2 different henges.
Okay.
I don't want to try to manage that with time differences as well. So Jaya's coming with you. Your party's coming with you if you go. Yeah.
Okay.
We can ask around and try to get more information about Brigand's Hold. I think I don't know that it's high on Teng's priority to find Lend. But I can scry him just to give more information about what his current whereabouts / activities are.
You think it's important, Denny?
She not even
sorry, I
at.
was distracted. What was the question?
Do you think it's important to scry on Lend?
I mean, you can try if you stay for a few more days. I just don't want to waste your resources.
Yeah, at the end of the day, like before we sleep, would be fine because.
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna reveal much, but well, maybe we get lucky.
Okay. Well, we'll plan on me doing that after I make my next round of potions.
All right.
Do I have permission to rope Aeolus into helping me with something? Because I need a alchemist, or no?
Sure.
Great.
Does he have to roll?
I don't believe so, no.
Okay.
I just need somebody with proficiency in alchemist
supplies. That's fine.
Great.
More than able to do so. So at that point then, how many days of downtime is the group going to take here before going to Brick and Hold?
Just until we get the news about Siegfried.
Okay,
right?
you get it today, and we'll cover all of that as a flashback.
Yeah,
Pardon?
When is the ceremony that he has to take part in? Because my guess is we would leave the day after that.
If he is confirmed, the tattoo, that would be today.
Okay.
Yeah. So you could leave as early as tomorrow if he's confirmed. If he's denied, you could leave as early as today or tomorrow. So we'll assume that you guys make your jaunt to Urcrypt. I suspect late tonight if you're planning to spend a night in Ur Crypt.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
works.
Okay.
Yes.
Alrighty. You can go ahead and roll for your healing potion craft this day as well.
Okay. I'm using Lucky because I want this to be good.
27.
27.
Ooh.
Ooh.
That's
that is
superior.
A potion of superior healing.
Nice. That's a 8d4 plus 8 healing. It's a big roll there. All right. And that's your work for the day. All right, and then the group of you with your other 3 companions in tow. I believe Dunan, you're teleporting everyone.
Correct. Yes.
Easy and
Before we go to our crypt, can I scry on Lent?
sure. You're using your divine intervention, right?
Yeah, the divine intervention. Yeah,
Okay.
to scry. That's what I meant.
All right, let me pull up Len's stat block. It's a spell save DC Wisdom, correct? Make me have to find. Nope, not the Keeley twins. Len's stat block. What's your DC?
18.
Alrighty. Describe how you use this. How you cast this spell. What does it look like as you take part in it?
I have a bowl of water sitting in front of me. I am kneeling on the ground, holding my my amulet, and I start chanting under my breath, my eyes closed, and the surface of the water starts to ripple as the spell begins to take hold.
Okay. And this is in
Not very
the
dramatic.
this is in the evening, correct? After you finish your
Yep,
potion.
in the evening at Aeolus's.
Okay. As the spell takes hold, you see the slow, small, soft ripples and undulations of the surface of the water from just shifting ever so slightly, flatten out, and the entire surface goes taut as a sheet, and as smooth as a mirror, reflecting the light in your reflection as it swirls into bluish darkness for a moment. And you feel yourself falling into this darkness ever so briefly as your vision clouds over. You see a Lend sitting near a campfire, currently working on stringing up a hammock, undoing his tunic and settling in for an evening. Seems to be in a wilderness. Pine trees around him. As he undoes his tunic and just sort of rolls his shoulders for a moment, a play of the light reflects off of the surface of his skin. From the bottom of his neck, just barely an inch up from his shoulders, and rippling down over his torso. What you'd expect to see the continuation of his dark skin is bronze in color, metallic, reflecting and catching and scattering the light of the campfire across the area. It's as if his very flesh has turned to metal, still twisting and shifting as if it was the supple and soft skin that you would expect, but has this metallic sheen to it all. As you watch over the course of 10 minutes, he goes through a series of stretches and what appears to be a rather rigorous form of exercises. The sheen of sweat builds upon him, and it's the metallic skin itself also has this sheen of sweat and moisture permeating through it. And this strange second skin is as mobile as anything else. You can't tell if it's as hard as metal or not, but it catches your eye. Towards the end of your scrying, you see him perk up for a moment, have a glance around, quickly dash over towards his quiver, draw an arrow, throw a cloak around his shoulders, and vanish from your sight. You hear the tautness of a bow stretch back, and utter silence, other than the crackling of the fire, fills the area. The last 2 minutes of your scrying pass in this fashion. The only sound of the logs shifting ever so slightly in his campfire, before your vision fades back and you take this deep breath that feels as if you've been holding in for 10 minutes as you are heavily exhaling and inhaling, as your vision returns to that of Aeolus's small home around you. The pool of water gathered in the bowl slowly shifting and rippling as small vibrations take over again, here and there.
Can I tell the difference between normal pine trees and the pinwood pine trees?
Make a nature check.
I'm gonna keep my lucky active.
Lucky again. Sounds good.
I don't trust my nature.
I mean, you're an owl. You should trust nature. Okay, pretty good. It's possible he was in the Pinwood entirely. He did seemingly have, or potentially had cut some wood for said fire. You're not quite sure if he's aware of the corrosive properties of the trees in the Pinwood. It's also possible that he has a weapon that's warded against it for just such a purpose, like an axe or something, axe or saw. Through Elderthorn, if he's traveling by foot and you did not see a horse or other means of transportation, at least in the image, you're not native, you're not local to the area, but as far as you know, the Pinwood is the only source of conifer trees nearby Elderthorn, so you suspect he's somewhere within the Pinwood.
I relay that information to my team. It might be nearby still.
Yeah. Now, the Pinwood stretches for dozens of leagues to the east of you. East of Elderthorn, pardon me. And he's had some number of days minimum head start of walking into the wood. So it's very possible that... Sorry, go ahead.
Going, if he's going into the pin.
You have no clue. Yeah. Oh, was that a question for him? That was not a question. More thinking out loud.
Yeah, that's the I'm not sure what purpose he would have going deep into the Pinwood. Unless he were heading to Thornridge Bluffs.
It's kind of fruitless, I think, to try to track him down.
Okay.
So you
Kelly's
get that
over trying to
information.
figure out where the hell he is.
Yeah.
I think we have to, I don't know, save that for a later date.
Dunan, I'll have you make a history check also.
Well, his strong suit. History, you said.
Yes. Lend was, in the time that you traveled with the Death Deniers, typically acting as a forward scout for any of your journeys. You know he's likely not incredibly hampered by the terrain of the Pinwood and could probably make decent time on foot through the Pinwood, traveling about 8 to 12 miles in a day in that terrain is not unheard of. So if he only has a day's head start pushing in there, he could be 4 leagues into the Pinwood by this point, which follows the coast. Now the Pinwood extends something like 60, 65 leagues along the coast until it falls short a few leagues south of Armskirk. So there's significant terrain that someone can get lost in there or lose themselves in there if they're trying to not be followed.
So the odds of us finding him in the Pinwood are slim to none.
Slim short of significant magical expenditure.
Yeah, and we probably wouldn't be able to catch him anyway. He knows his way around the woods, and he's always been our scout. So.
Okay, well, it was worth a shot.
It's worth a shot. Yeah, we have to. I don't know. Wait for another moment.
Like trying to track a fish at sea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we can head to Crypt.
Alright, so the 6 of you teleport to Crypt and the Moonsands Caravansary. You are greeted by Yerl, who's pleased as punch to see the group of you. That's because I'm in the wrong section. That's why. NPCs. Crypt. Yerl. As the now named Premier, he goes, "It's so nice to see all of you. I have some meals. I'll get some out for you. You're coming late. Did you use a henge to arrive?"
Nah, I acquired something very fancy, and I tap on my head. That helps to get around once a day.
3 of the eyes just sort of look at it. It's very pretty. Okay. No, told you. Do you intend to leave by henge or by your magic hat?
No, we're gonna leave by henge, and I know we have to pay you a fee.
Yes.
But we're gonna stay for a night.
Okay. So the 6 of you. It is going to be how many rooms?
I guess 2 is fine.
2.
1 for the ladies and 1 for the boys.
2 rooms. So the fee for you to depart in the morning, in case I am not around, will be 600 silver. I do not see any pack animals. Goats, donkeys, no.
Nope.
So 600 silver, and you may take your choice of henge and at your leisure after that. And for the rooms, it will be 10 silver each. So 20 total for the 620 odd. And the meal for the group of you will be another 10, so 630.
Okay. Kelly will do the ladies' room. So
Okay.
she'll pay that 10 silver.
Go ahead and mark that off. I'm pulling up Aeolus's sheet because you're making him pay. He doesn't have it. I'm just doing it in the party loot.
Yeah.
So,
Nice.
alright. So I'm marking off 6 platinum and then 20 silver. Other than the 10 that Heliwrast is paying. There we go. So you're covered. So your meal, and if you would like to break your fast with us in the morning, it is included in your rooms. Before you set out, there'll be a small spread.
Just a
cheese.
quick question, Yerel.
Yes.
If you would be so kind. Usually, if we use the henge, we kind of are tired after using it. Do you have any way to counter that?
No, that is art of the magic. I'm not quite sure myself. I've not been able to figure it out. It would be a good way to incentivize people not people coming in and paying a little bit
Elderly
extra toll.
people.
But so far, I've found that the little bit of tired people that come in, it's nice for them to want to come in and spend the night. They spend a little bit more coin here at the Moon Sands. It's also why some of the people we've been able to get a few more permanent residents that have chosen to set up shop. It's quite nice. Few people just living here. I think they are merchants orchestrating trade between a few different locations. And it makes sense to have their headquarters here. It's very exciting.
Just where we are going, we have no idea what to expect. So, I don't know, being down or being tired might be hindrance. That's why I ask.
Unfortunately, I've not been able to discern any reasonable means of removing that exhaustion from you, short of a good night's rest.
I get it. Well, it was worth the try. Thank you, Yarel.
It is my pleasure. Excuse me, I must. And he floats over along the bar to another patron that's been trying to get his attention. Two of the eyes had sort of trained on him. All right. Does anyone have anything that they wish to do for the very end of this day in the Moon Sands?
Are there like shops or?
You guys got here pretty late in the day because you did.
Shops are closed down.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So
Maybe in the morning. I'm just looking for some potions maybe that help against the exhaustion.
make an Arcana check.
Is it a potion of vitality? I'm not sure.
Question: is Aeolus immune to poison or just resistant to poison?
I believe he's immune.
Immune.
Done. Yeah. So potion of vitality removes levels of exhaustion, cures his diseases and poisons affecting you. With 15, the other way to remove exhaustion is greater restoration, which has a diamond cost component to it.
Yeah. That
Yeah, no.
Yeah, it's a
potion
very
of
rare
output
potion.
too, probably.
It is
Do we know?
very rare
Do we
cost
know
of
where
potion.
this henge dumps us out?
You do
Because
not.
like at a cod is a mile or so away, so you could kind of come in there and regroup and maybe go a little bit the other direction and get a full night's rest before we go into Brigand's Hold. So
Correct. You have
we
no
might want
idea
to
where in Brigand's Hold this henge is located, or the other end of it is.
Helly would be inclined to maybe ask around to see if we can find out what that is.
Okay. Make me a charisma check. I'm just asking around a few patrons in the Moon Sands.
Oh shit. Okay.
A few people are kind of standoffish. You might have accidentally interrupted a few conversations in like the middle of a juicy part, and they're not particularly inclined to share. You have no doubt that some of them likely know exactly, but the in unintended rudeness of the approach and brusqueness with which Heliwrast typically approaches things, from what I know of you, seems to be a bit standoffish.
Yeah. Okay.
Jarl is also of no help. He, as far as you know, has not used any of the henges himself.
I can imagine being on the other side of a hinge and seeing a beholder just pop out. That'd be interesting.
Yarel's brother.
All right.
So staying the night and then
Alright.
go for the hinge.
Off you go. All right. The next, all of you can go ahead and long rest. Make sure you have all of your resources ready to go, and then mark 1 level of exhaustion for the next day. Which,
Quick question.
yes,
How many bottles of alcohol did I get from Halloween?
for the moonshine, you got 1 bottle.
Yeah. I have 1 bottle of moonshine.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm using Aeolus before we go to bed to help me make a bottle of Rowan wine.
Okay.
So basically, we're prepping it, but it has to chill for 2 weeks before we can use it.
Okay. Just make a mark on your sheet when you're adding the Rowan wine. Let me give you the date for 2 weeks. I'm going to interpret 2 weeks as a 10-day. 13th of Nightall.
Okay.
So it'll be ready on the 13th. Okay. Actually, pardon me, the 12th, because it's technically the 12th right now. I moved it forward a day ahead of time. So the 12th. The next morning, the group of you come to consciousness, enjoy a small spread of preserved meats and cheeses and crackers and bread. Very Spartan breakfast compared to the over-the-top cooked meals that seem to be the fashion of the evening. And chilled fruits for the desserts, but it satisfies you rather well, and you are directed, or you find the appropriate henge for Brigand Hold. Anything else prior to the group of you going through the henge?
I would.
Jai is going to
summon the
cast
pup.
Disguise Self.
Yeah.
Do you want to summon the pup now, or you want to summon the pup later so
No,
it doesn't have a level of exhaustion?
Before we would have gone to bed.
Well, my question is, do you want to have it avoid the level of exhaustion by not summoning it until you get to Brigand Hold?
Yeah.
We also might have to pay for
Pack
it.
animal, or we'd have to pay for him.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you want to pay 500 silver?
No.
Jai is casting Disguise Self.
Wonderful.
And she's going to make herself look like herself, but human. So, should be enough of a distraction. Or enough of a difference that no one's going to think any the wiser. It's good for an hour. And she's going to throw her cloak up and everything to make sure she's covered. And in the group of you go. The familiar squeezing sensation as you take one step after another, walking through the henge. And right as you think it's about to be so much that you can't take that next step, it suddenly releases and you realize you're already stepping out of the curtained henge on the far side. All of you gain your level of exhaustion, which is a -1 to all d20s. And you find yourselves stepping out of a large stone wall. Perfect, like, immaculately fit together in... You don't even see mortar between some of these stones. As you turn back and glance around the henge itself. Towering up away from the henge where you have stepped out is the wall of a large keep and castle that is tiered in about 4 different levels that each one gets narrower and narrower as it scales up, the back of which is set into a fairly sheer mountainous cliff face. Sprawling out ahead of you, looking down, you see a small bay that's sheltered. Let me see if I have my city map in here. I do not have it in here yet. The bay is eastward facing the opening, and there's a few city streets that sort of curl around it in this C shape, sprawled out to what you gather is the south of you. The street, each level of the street slightly lower and lower down towards sea level. The bottom end of that C shape, there is a spire, which comes to about eye level, roughly, with the elevation at which you presently stand. That appears to be a lighthouse of some sort. the massive flame at the top of it currently burning. It's too far to hear the crackle of the flames, but you imagine up close it's quite a roar of fire. The flame itself probably 10 feet square on this almost pyre of flame that's serving as the lighthouse and lookout point. There's a number of ships docked in this bay, and dozens of people are passing you on the streets one by one. Jaya chimes in. There's a few locations we can go. There's a few different. There's an inn, if it's still there, called the Mariner's Rest. And there's also the Kraken's Maw. It's a tavern. Better. You could get the lay of the land from one of those places, I'd suspect. Not sure how much Lady C has command here.
Where can we keep it lower profile for now?
Hang on, so wants to voice. We should have something else that we call you while we're here.
She tells you something that Meg can pick later.
Okay, great. Code name.
Hey you. She'll respond to hey you. Sweet chestnut.
We just all call her babe.
Hey you with the face. Old bean.
Wise one.
Grand Poobah.
Grand Poobah.
All right. So, you all settle. Where is the group heading? So she can lead you to either of the places.
I just ask her which one is better for keeping a low profile.
Well, Kraken's Maw doesn't have rooms. It's just an inn. Or just a tavern. The rest is just an inn. Better to keep the fighting and the drinking away from the people sleeping. I think I see. She points out a few different places. Rest set on one of the higher streets, and the Kraken's Maw a bit closer towards the back part of the sea. It looks to be rather ramshackle. Either are.
An inn is a better option right now. Get lodging, set up like a home base, and then we can figure out in the safety of our room what direction the staff is pointing.
And she gestures off to the head of the sea, on the island side, not the bay side, sort of the furthest point of walking from the lighthouse, but probably closer to the lighthouse than some buildings, just of how the bay is shaped. And that'd be the establishment over there. Not sure if you want to stop by there or not. I mean, Ghelfi said it's not connected anymore, but don't know if anyone's taken it over.
Oh, okay.
I am open.
What would the group of you like to do?
I mean, I guess we should head to the inn
and book some rooms.
First, I'd like to ask Aeolus if he actually feels a tug.
He does. It's
And
directing
still...
towards the citadel. Up.
Oh, fun.
Oh boy.
Oh boy.
just like
Okay.
head for.
He also reports to the group of you that there's an intermittence in this pulling sensation. It's not a pull like a gravitational pull. It's just this sense of direction, which is there, and then it's gone, and then it's there again. But when in the moments that it's gone, it's nowhere. Doesn't seem like it's this, wherever direction is changing, it's just present and vanished. It's semi-present. He words it as.
It's turning on and off.
He gets a direction, yeah.
Weird. Okay. Cool. Well, Citadel is direction, which is gonna be a fun problem for future us.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to learn more about the city and how it operates. I know it's like a den for pirates, but like, what's the governmental structure? Is there a governmental structure? Who is in charge? Who do we need to avoid? I know Jaya escaped being a slave, but I don't remember who her captors were.
It
I
was
want to know.
it was the Devil's Buccaneers, the crew of Lady C, who, from your understanding, is now in charge.
Oh, great. Cool. Are
Uh,
there multiple factions here, like in a COD?
you
Or
don't know, and she doesn't know.
okay,
She
great.
was captive on a ship. Um, she was not typically making birth. Um,
Okay.
Mm. Okay. Yeah.
so are you going to Mariner's Rest or Kraken's Maw to start with? You said Mariner's
Mariners
Rest at the
Rest.
end. Okay. Easily enough, Jaya leads you through the streets, ducking here and there. There we go. And let me get you guys to a map page for the moment, which I don't have entirely scaled up. It's a rough map, but to give you an idea.
Yeah, okay. How warm is it there?
Ooh, nice.
Okay, so you guys should be able to see the map now, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay, wonderful. So the pyre that is likely serving as the lighthouse is there.
Lighthouse. Yeah.
Here is the keep, roughly. You guys appeared like right here, roughly.
That's the
Okay.
hand.
No, that's where you guys appeared.
Oh.
Jaya gestured at the establishment being over this direction. Mariner's Rest is along one of these roads up here. And the Kraken's Maw is this building here. It looks like a ship is halfway out of it.
Mm-hmm.
You guys see my pings? Were you able to
Yeah.
see that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I see that.
Oh, yeah.
Gotcha. Okay, perfect. Alright, so rough idea of the layout.
Is it
This looks
busy
more
on the
tropical,
streets?
yeah.
It's quite busy. There's
Okay.
it's not difficult to pass through, but there's not 3 seconds go by that another person doesn't walk past you, to give you a sense of the density of the population at this point. It's morning.
So,
You guys all have that single level of exhaustion, but the sun's a little bit higher here than it was when you were in Urcrypt. You gather you've shifted. It's a little bit later in the morning, closer to noon here, closer to high sun. So small changes, but you have a bit of a concept of time.
did everybody who saw us pop through the hinge?
A handful of people. None of them seem to give you much mind, though.
Okay, they're used to it. Okay.
Yeah.
Ooh, the Mariners Rest.
Oh, easily enough. Pull up the information for Mariner's Rest. All right. The large, sturdy inn, near-ish to the harbor, just one level up, stands newly painted, somewhat recently, with the facade and a sign depicting a peaceful sea horizon. Despite the inviting appearance, there are 2 individuals which seem to be armed guards near the door, suggesting least some degree of cost associated with the stay here. They don't accost you in any type of way as you step through, and the interior of the rest boasts polished wooden floors, walls well adorned with a variety of artifacts from various ships, from wheels to various corals that have been collected. It's well lit. There's a series of small private booths off to one side, and a small bar set nearby. No one's presently at it or tending to it, with a collection of a few bottles of rather pricey looking spirits. Uh, Off to your right as you step inside, there is. Where's my NPC list? A female elf dressed in a well tailored tunic, standing behind a counter. She looks at the group. Hello. I've not seen your faces here before. My name is Eloise Hartland. It is a pleasure to welcome you to the Mariner's Rest, where we hope that you may lay your heads. Do the lot of you need rooms for the evening? We have some well-appointed available. Believe we can house all of you. Flashes you a toothy smile.
Rooms would be much appreciated. Thank you.
My absolute pleasure. She sort of touches your chest, and you can see she's got a beautiful conch shell, sort of decorative brooch set onto part of her tunic that she just pats ever so slightly as she welcomes you in and steps from behind the counter in a...
She touches my chest?
No, her conch shell.
Oh, hers. Okay.
Her brooch. Her sort of leaning into the sea theme, her sort of conch shell decorative brooch. As she steps from behind the counter, she's in a flowing skirt and what looks to be relatively well-made sandals. As she steps around, follow me. We have not believed. As she leads you up this some steps near the back. I don't believe I've met any of your kind previously. Glancing at you, Tang. From where do you hail? As she reaches the second story.
I hail from the far north.
Oh, well.
Snow-capped mountains.
I'm afraid that we might have a bit of a warm climate for you if you're used to northern waters. But not to worry. I have one room that's presently available with a lovely breeze off the ocean. Might be a little bit cooler than the others. She leads you down the hall, the group of you down the hall. Any of these rooms are presently available. This sleeps 1, this 3, this 2. We have more individual rooms available on this side of the hall. Gestures to each of them. She leads you to the room that she had mentioned, and she opens the door to a rather plush, opulent feeling room, but nothing gaudy about it. It feels well maintained and cared for. The prices here are either silver or gold. We will accept gemstones as payment, but we will need to appraise them, of course, if you prefer to travel a bit lighter than the weight of coin. You're looking at 20 silver or 2 golds an eve, 1 meal included, and the bar is open for a few hours in the evening after supper. Not late.
How many? So 20 per room per night?
20 per individual per evening.
Per individual.
Yes.
Okay.
Now, if you prefer to sleep multiple to a room, we'll offer a small discount. As you take up less of our footprint at that point. But it would be on as needed basis. Would you all like your own rooms?
No.
I'll hunker down with whoever wants to.
Yeah, The ladies of our group are comfortable with sharing a room.
Certainly. One of our three persons, as she opens a door after closing the one that she had shown you with the nice breeze, she opens another one that looks off across the city, somewhat. This one should serve comfortable. There's a few halfling-sized beds that are folded underneath. She gestures to one of them. Could pull out for you. Give me one moment. And she goes over and slides out and then folds open a smaller bed. This should fit you quite well for your stature. It's a quite comfortable room. For the group of you, three of you ladies are staying here. We'll lend you the room at the rate of 50 silver for all three of you.
I hand
Okay.
her 50 silver from my inventory for
Okay. Mark it
the
off.
3 of us for a night.
Should I be expecting you for more than one evening?
It's possible.
To be determined, yes.
Very
We
well.
anticipate needing more time in Brigand's Hold, but we don't yet know the full duration of our stay.
Of course. See to it that you find me before high sun, if you've not yet paid for the evening. And I'll be happy to take the payment for that next evening. But we do clean the rooms daily, a bit after that. And if you've not yet paid for the evening, I might rent it out.
Thank you very much for the warning.
Will the gentlemen be staying together? As she looks at you, Dunan.
Yeah, the boys hunker down together.
Certain. My apologies. I don't have one right next to your compatriots. She goes 2 rooms down and opens the door.
That's fine.
A similarly appointed room is shown to you. Same rate if the 3 of you will be staying together.
Sure, and I'll hand her 5 gold. from my
Wonderful.
pocket.
She drops it into a small pouch on her hip. Very well. And I believe you heard my instructions to your compatriots as well.
All right.
The
Before
meal that you
high
are
sun.
provided will be around supper. It will be
Sure.
served to your rooms, or at the few booths that we have downstairs. And about an hour after the meal is served, you may purchase spirits or drinks of your choice from the bar for the next couple of hours. It is patrons only, so please
see.
do not invite friends not residing here in the evening to partake at the bar. The doors do close at the time that we start serving to everyone that is not currently residing for the evening, to prevent some of the riffraff from ships from choosing to use this as a place for carousing.
Understood.
Nice.
So it's our first time here in Brigand's Hold. Are there any
Well,
must-sees or
welcome.
places to stay away? Or
No, not too much that's particularly stay back. If you're not a member of the Buccaneers, which if it's your first time here, I suspect you are not, and you're here to do trade of some type, you're not permitted into the Citadel. You won't be given entry either way, but don't break in, but that should go without saying. There's a wonderful herbologist here if you are in the market for herbs, poultices, and other things. If you intend to set out from here by sea, you'll need to go down to the docks and speak with some captains to see if any of their ships are already chartered. You did miss the ODMC ship that set off about 10 days ago? No. 2, maybe. But that was one of their bigger trade ships. You might be able to barter passage if you're not able to pay outright, depending. But most ships that land will likely have some destination or other, and you'll need to find one that accommodates your desires. What else? If you wish to carouse and not have a quiet, peaceful drink, the Kraken's Maw down by the docks is where most sailors and members of the Buccaneers will get into fights and drink and be a little bit rowdy at all hours of the day. I'd recommend not getting into a fight if you can avoid it.
Any particular reason? Like law enforcement?
As
or...
you are effectively interlopers, as visitors, if you... I see you're not unarmed. If you get into fights with Buccaneers, you get into fights with all the Buccaneers. Matters not if they're friends or not with an individual. If you fight one, you fight them all. So if you punch the wrong person in Kraken's Maw, you could have half the bar attacking you. They'll fight amongst themselves just as fiercely, but you're not fighting a throng of individuals at that moment. And
don't piece of any Buccaneers, alright?
Try not to, yes. Because if they blackmark you, then I'm afraid you're a criminal across the entire area. And
Alright.
But if you avoid fights entirely, you're well taken care of at that point. A small bell chimes. Excuse me, I have another patron to attend to. Please
thank you very much.
see yourself
Your name
settled.
was, again, sorry?
Eloise Hopwind.
Eloise, alright. Nice to meet you, Dunan.
Pleasure to meet you, Master Dunan. As I said, before high sun tomorrow if you choose to stay another evening.
Got it. Thank you very much.
My pleasure. She departs rather swiftly, trying to get to whatever her next patron is.
All right.
You heard that? Big herbalist here, thing.
I'm not the one you need to be worried about.
I'm not worried. I mean that you could browse the wares.
Yeah. So the three people who are not here are settling into rooms at that point, and Jaya is saving her spell slots by not going on about. The town is yours. What would you like to do?
Like a market area where we could, I don't know, browse some wares or gather some information.
Near the docks. You could try that.
Yes, please. I would like to go to the docks. Go shopping.
All the company thing.
Okay. Heliwrast, you going with him?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
I'm just not staying around.
the group of you lock up your rooms with the keys that were provided to you. One key for each room. Actually, the people who are not here will have keys. The keys. And you head downstairs. On the steps, you pass a half-elven gentleman. Eloise is not present. Looks to be a bit gruff, and there's a remarkable scar, really nasty, across part of his face. Sort of looks at the group of you queerly for a moment. Gives you sort of gives you a grunt, and walks around the group of you on the stairs. Tang, with your passive perception, you hear the notable jingle of coin coming from this individual. I suspect he's carrying quite a bit of some type of coins on him, and it's a decent bit of weight to this individual. You're not sure how much, but a lot in theory. He's not like a burglar sack of coin, but it's definitely something you pick up on immediately. Sort of gives you a grunt as he steps around the three of you, heading up to the floor that the group of you are coming down from. And off you go onto the streets with a small wave from Eloise at the counter. And you head down one street towards the dock section. For what are you searching?
I'm curious about an apothecary or an herbalist. I am in the air. I don't feel like walking anymore.
Okay.
I get enough walking indoors.
Noted. Sure.
I'm curious about what grows in the area. So
All right. Make an investigation check for me. You stop, ask a few questions of a few different patrons, and they point you around to Herbologist's Haven. As you take a few other directions as you go, it takes about 10 minutes of a walk or flight at walking speed for the rest of them. And you find yourselves at a familiar looking building with a wooden sign placed in front of the black painted wall above that was previously had the small scrawling script of the establishment. The new sign that has been hung is Herbologist's Haven. You step inside. Let me grab the description. As you step in, the familiar looking space of the establishment has been covered in pots of various plants. The ceiling is a litany. It looks like someone has taken a fishing net and affixed it to every surface of the ceiling. And from the netting itself has twine and string and bundles of wrapped herbs and other things drying there on the ceiling, hanging down, giving this feeling of this artificially lower height from how dense all of these racks of drying are. A human woman sort of looks up at the group. Hello, hello. Well, welcome. Welcome to Haven. My name's Belny. What can I do for you?
looking to learn what type of medicinal and plants grow in the area. I'm a bit of a botanist or an herbalist myself, but I'm not familiar with this climate.
Oh, so not too much grows here. This just made sense as the best place to set up. Lots of ships coming through, and I can put out orders reasonably well for the surrounding islands. Stormwinds have a variety of plants depending on the climate of each of the individual ones. This is relatively rocky volcanic soil here, so most of the growing I do right here in house. But are you looking to cure ailments? Are you looking for deadly poisons? What?
I am a cleric by class, so I would prefer more of the healing variety, but I'm curious as to what you have. I have some herbs that I brought with me through the henge that I may be willing to trade as well.
Ah, well, welcome, welcome. Um, so I have a little bit of everything and a few things that are a bit rarer. Have, how much coin did you want to spend? If you don't mind me asking.
I'd say I'm open to negotiation.
Okay. Well, I have your run of the mill. This one's for. She starts pointing at plants. This one's for blindness. This one's for hair loss. This is for impotence. This is to calm down one's lack of impotence. Don't mix them up. Terribly messy. Um, we have a little bit of everything. If you have friends and family suffering from feather loss, maybe I have something for that. If you need dyes for fabrics, I can whip something up for you as well. Um, Most dyes come from most of the plants here. The only one I can't really get down is blue. Kind of a pain. But I can do most everything else for you. You have a lovely scarf. And she just starts running you through everything that she has. Any one that you are looking for, you can make a roll for. With the exception of anything that's very rare, she very likely has it.
Okay. I'm gonna let everybody else do what they want to do while I figure out what I'm looking for.
Yeah. Tang, make me an Arcana check as well, as she's just sort of gesturing to all of these different things and walking you about. As she is going, you notice she has a ring on her left middle finger. With your perception, it's easily enough to spot. It's the Arcana to actually place some of the sigils that you see ever so slightly carved into this ring. It looks much larger than you would expect for a typical, very feminine ring, especially for someone who spends a lot of their time growing and dealing with soil effectively. You wouldn't expect someone of this profession to wear this type of ring, and it stands out to you, and that's what gets your attention further towards the ring. The sigils that are upon the ring seem to relate, at least on some degree, to planar travel. You're not quite... You see some that seem to be teleportation, and then others which seem to be this transmutation type of effect that you interpret as this is some type of extraplanar travel. You're not quite sure what, but it does not make sense for her to be wearing this ring, which has this sort of masculine design to it, which seems out of place for her to be wearing, mixed in with her profession as well. It's quite off-putting. As Tang is getting the nickel tour, Heliwrast and Dunan, there is a small gnome which pops in, looking at you, in the group of you. Excuse me, just need to, but sort of squeezes past you, Dunan. You're just sort of you're not making a good doorway as he sort of tries to get in front of you and pick up 2 of the potted plants and goes over to the counter. Belny, I need these 2 for Lady C. She said to pick them up. I need a few coins clatter on the table. I think that'll cover it. She stops her nickel tour for Tang. That's fine, Thatch. Let me know if there's anything else that's needed. She goes back to the litany of explanations that Tang is getting. And excuse me, mister.
He tries to squeeze again. I just pick him up and lift him up and
Hey!
put him in the doorway before he squeezes through me. Here,
Sort of-
it's easier.
Sort of rolls his shoulders. Well, and then leaves.
That was kind of de-emasculating, I know, but. So, who's the lady? Lady C? What was that name?
Yeah, Lady C and Belny.
So yeah, Belny's the proprietor.
Yeah. And he was
Thatch, yes.
Is Belny in hearing range, or is she out of?
Are you whispering to Heliwrast about this?
Yeah. Just.
I'll make a roll for
Lady
it.
C. Yeah. Maybe a name to remember.
No, Belny is 100% involved in sort of showing Tang around and trying to make a sale.
Let's just take a mental note of the name, Lady C.
Yeah. You've heard it previously from Ajaya. Lady C is the captain of the Buccaneers.
Okay. And he picked up 2 plants for her, all right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And this is the one who actually wants to get at Jaya, right?
You don't know. Jaya was a captive of the Devil's Buccaneers. And
Okay.
the group of you know that Jaya stole stuff from the Devil's Buccaneers. So you would suspect that at least on some level they want their shit back. And some recompense and justice in their own way. But you don't know if it's Lady C specifically.
Tell somebody to be actively avoided
Correct.
at this point.
Yep.
Wonderful. Okay.
But yeah, Melanie does not seem to hear your side conversations happening at that moment. Alrighty.
Okay.
So Tang, you get the token tour of everything that she has available for you. If you'd like to purchase or trade or whatever, you can come back here at any point as well. Um, is there anything else anyone would like to do here at the establishment? Well, herbologist Avon.
Nah,
No,
not
not
for Helly. Helly's just hanging out to make sure Tang's okay. And
Tang is so excited about learning all of the things about what's here. She's going to be keeping her eyes peeled for war paint.
For war paint,
War paint.
certainly.
Page 57, 56, 57.
I guess Haley and Dana just awkwardly standing around looking, feeling out
yeah,
of place.
just feeling out of place, just hanging out, waiting for maybe Helly will step outside and see if she can get a breath of some fresher, less herbal air.
Yeah, so war paint and agua aurea are things that she's looking for.
Okay. So war paint is a crafted one.
Yes, it is already
Okay.
crafted. Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. So she has ingredients. She doesn't have like crafted things specifically.
Okay.
You gathered she would be able to craft things for you if you wish to commission it, but she'd much rather not spend the ingredients on stuff that's not going to sell ahead of time.
Fair.
So,
So then what I'm looking for is probably elder branches or dragon's blood tree.
blood tree. What's the rarity on them?
Let me look that up 1 second.
Agua Aurea you can roll for.
Dragon's blood tree is very rare and elder is uncommon.
Okay, she has the uncommon.
Okay. How's the elder?
Roll for the Agua Aurea and the Dragon's Blood.
Okay. What do you want me to roll?
The Agua Aurea, D20. Alright, she does not have the Agua Aurea at the moment. Nor the Dragon's Blood. Just bad rolls.
Okay, so she has the elder.
Correct.
Okay. Which is rare. It's uncommon, right?
Uncommon, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Does she have Darnell grass?
What? Anything that's uncommon or less, she's going to have.
Okay, I was gonna see if I could trade her.
Gotcha. Okay.
Is everything uncommon?
Pardon? Any ingredient that is uncommon, she's going to have. If it requires crafting, it's less likely for her to have it, even if it is uncommon, because she's not going to spend her resources on crafting stuff. But any ingredient she's going to have that's uncommon or less. Even stuff that is outside of the traditional biome that she's going to find stuff in, that you would expect to find stuff here. It seems like she has a reasonably extensive network of supplies built, in general. And she seems to be decently skilled at growing here, as opposed to just waiting on things to come in on shipment. So that way she has fresh ingredients as well.
Okay. What rare things does she have?
Any rare thing you're going to need to roll for, DC's 15, if she has it or not. Any very rare thing, you gotta get a 20.
Well, I'm gonna see if I can trade my Aconite for Elder.
Okay. Make a persuasion check.
I'm gonna give myself lucky.
Certainly. She'll trade for you. For every 2 doses that you give, like 2 doses uses that you trade, she'll trade you 1 dose back.
So I give her 2 aconite, she gives me 1.
Yes.
That makes no sense.
Why would she take a 1-for-1 deal when she knows that you can also pay
Rare
her?
versus uncommon.
Okay. You're giving her rare. Okay.
I'm giving her rare.
Gotcha.
Aconite is rare.
Gotcha. I need that information then.
Sorry.
I don't have this book memorized.
Yeah, sorry. Aconite is rare and it's from Scrubland.
Yeah, she'll trade 1-for-1 then.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great. I will take that deal.
Yeah. So mark off your trade, or your resources. All right.
And then I tell her I will be back. And thank you so much for all of the information.
You make a chart of every name with every rarity. That's what I need. So that way I'm not scrolling through pages.
Oh, I think that there is one.
Of course there is.
Let me find it.
Okay. You see if you can find that.
Oh,
No, 18.
age 18, 19.
Yep. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Perfect. That's what I need. All right. So you do your trades as desired. If you're spending coin, let me know. If not, we can proceed onwards.
Okay.
Okay. What would the group of you like to do? Oh, those people are muted, so I don't know. I don't know if they're talking or not.
Well,
Continuing walking along the docks.
I'm kind of
And
debating myself if we should gather information on how to break into the citadel, but I don't know how smart it is.
no, I wouldn't do that quite yet.
No.
find some
Because we
unscrupulous
don't
looking
know who-
individuals.
Yeah, who's a booker? Is there any way to determine who's a buccaneer or not? Is there any marking? Like, Mishaya is not with us, right?
She is not now.
Okay.
Make an insight check. Insight check. Yeah. You get, as you're sort of wandering about the docks area after Tangus made her deal, and you're just looking at the different sellers and purveyors of goods and people loading and unloading different ships. There is sort of what appears to be a telltale tattoo on the back of the wrist of a bunch of individuals, which seems similar. You suspect this is the mark of the Devil's Buccaneers.
Like a tattoo?
A tattoo, yes.
So okay, I thought more. Okay, so no obvious sign like a headband or I don't know, a badge or something.
No. It appears to be there's a number of individuals that have this exact same tattoo on the back of their wrists, which is easily enough seen. The climate here is warm. People aren't wearing long sleeves and heavy cloaks. So you gather that this is probably your best way to tell who's a buccaneer, who is a member of the Devil's Buccaneers, and who isn't. And you're about a 2-to-1 ratio. Buccaneers versus not Buccaneers.
Okay, and how big is that tattoo? Is it like obvious, or do you have to?
It's like
get very
two
close to
2
see it?
inches, 3 inches. I mean,
Okay.
yeah, it's enough that it covers the back of the wrists, but like people's wrists aren't huge, so.
And do I see what kind of tattoo? Is it like a skull or I don't know?
Let me double check
The box.
Here's my list. Give me one moment.
Sure.
Page. It looks to be a single skull with a that is serving as the cross guard for a scimitar, some type of blade weapon.
Get it.
Like a falchion. It's not quite as curved as you would expect a scimitar to be. Closer to a falchion.
Okay. How late is it now? Is it like midday or no? Is it noon?
Say it's late morning. You
Morning.
you got here in the morning. You went, booked rooms, and then spent about 10 minutes walking around to get there. Probably spent half an hour in the herbologist haven, and now you're back around the docks. Are you looking for unscrupulous individuals to tell you how to break in?
I'm just turning to the group and saying, I mean, we done here thing? Kind of getting thirsty. That climate here making my throat a little dry.
Tank doesn't want to pop back by the herbalist. She figured out what she needed to buy.
Oh,
But she
I'll
can meet you
assume
at
that
the,
I'll assume that you've bought whatever you wanted to buy in that
what's
time.
the rate for? There's one thing that's common that I want to buy, and one thing that's uncommon.
Common would be 5 silver. Uncommon would be 10.
Okay. The 5 silver is the fern. Is that just like one fern seed, or can I get multiple with 5 silver?
It's a single seed.
It says so when they do the plants, it's different things require different parts of the plant. So like if I buy a fern, am I buying the entire fern, which is inclusive of multiple seeds? Does it only have one seed? That's the thing that I'm not sure how that works.
So she has everything broken down into ingredients. So if you need fern seeds as your ingredient, she'll sell you fern seeds. We'll say silver each. If you need the whole fern, you can buy a potted fern for 15 silver. But you don't know. You imagine anything that's in here doesn't presently have seeds because she will have harvested them as stock for people who want to buy seeds.
Okay. I'm gonna buy 5 fern seeds and a thing of hellebore.
Okay. No, go ahead. So it'd be I said 5 and 15, I believe, or no, 5 and 10, so 15 total. Yeah. So easily enough done. Go ahead and add to your inventory. That was part of your penny tour was getting everything.
Wonderful. So she likes me because I spent money and also got her another rare ingredient.
Yep. Okay. So Dunan it sounded like Dunan wanted to head to Kraken's Maw Tavern, correct?
Correct.
Okay. Easily enough found. You follow the sounds of screaming, yelling, fighting, and drinking. The nestled on the main wharf of Brigand's Hold is a ramshackle building that leans precariously as if swaying with the sea itself. The weather-beaten sign features a kraken's tentacle clutching a mug and swings kind of freely with a salty breeze, small creaking sounds from the rusty chains. As you step inside, the bright light of day is immediately snuffed with the dimly lit interior, with a few holes in parts of the wall and ceiling here and there. The area is filled with the sounds of raucous laughter, screams, shouts, yelling, and a few drunken individuals off at one table that are quietly singing something that's lost in the throng of sound that's occupying the space. The air is thick with the smell of rum and smoked fish. The tables are scattered relatively haphazardly, most of which are bearing scars of knife fights, spilled drinks, and stains which you'd rather not know the sources of. The center has a large semicircular bar which bisects about half of the room, creating the U-shaped interior. It's manned by a single bartender. Looks to be human, gentleman. As he is tending the space, you see him sort of glance around, filling drinks and whatnot as you step in and the interior door closes as you're no longer backlit. Squint of his eye sort of readjusts to the light, looks at the group of you. Hello, what I be? He'll sort of try to shout over the din of sound.
Is it like the picture I get is like there's like people and they're punching each other and like fighting and stealing stuff,
Looks
or is it
like
more
at most tables fighting looks like it could erupt at any given moment, but not presently as of yet.
okay.
But the shouting and screaming seems to be, if without catching the context of what the yelling and talking is about, you wouldn't be amiss in suspecting that some argument was about to break into violence.
Well, Dunan turns to the barkeep and just says, "Well, whatever ale you have, my good friend."
Light and dark. Those are your options. As he
I'd
sort of
prefer light.
shifts, he's older gentleman, very sea-weathered type of individual. His entire outfit has stains upon the entire thing. Looks like he has an old captain's coat that he's wearing, which seems out of place in the heat of the space and the stifled air of the interior of the Kraken's Maw here. The only thing that sort of catches your eye is a pendant on his neck that seems to be made out of incredibly bright silver. It's very out of place and doesn't seem to fit the rest of his aesthetic. As he sort of turns around, make a perception check. He's wearing long sleeves.
Oh, okay. Perception.
He does. As he sort of turns, you get the pendant catches your eye and it fills up a mug. And sets it back in front of you. That'll be 2 silver.
Sure. I'll lay down 2 silver. Anything for you, ladies? Turn to those.
He looks at your companions.
Ellie wants to keep her head clear and just shakes her head no.
All right.
Not this early in the day.
Tang is distracted by all of the chaos. Her sensitive ears are not happy.
What's your name, stranger?
All
I
right,
haven't
I'll
seen you
do the
around.
drinking then.
You're better at it than we are anyway, Dun.
Our best is Aeolus, but he's not here. Dunan's the name.
Nah,
Pleased to meet you.
Horace Manderley. Pleasure's mine. If your ladies want anything, let me know.
Tang
Just
laughs
ask you.
without realizing it.
It's a really nice bar you have here. I like it.
Thank you. It's my own little slice of life. Don't take to the sea much anymore, but I'm more than happy to man this for her.
How did you choose the name?
It was the name before I took it.
Oh, okay.
Previous establishment was still a Kraken's Maw, but the owners had a change of heart and decided to not be running it anymore. So I took it over for Lady C, and we're doing better than ever. Fixed up the place too.
And I think it needs a lot of fixing every night. And I'll look around.
It's fine. Sort of.
People seem on edge a little bit. And I'll look around, see like the heated discussions. Guess that's usual here.
This is mild. You should come back this evening. Is it
gonna be
messy.
fun?
Ellie will just like dig her elbow into Dunan's.
It can
Ribs.
get pretty fun. Depends on how much you can handle. Are you good with your brown?
Pretty good, I guess.
Well,
It's just
Some
one way to find
people
out, right?
aren't. And the people who aren't like to get in fights. They don't much care with whom.
Mm. And how do you break up fights? Do you just let them sort it out?
No, they can sort it the fuck out themselves. It's not my job.
See.
As long as they don't break my wall, I don't care.
I see.
Your ale is mediocre, at best.
Oh,
It-
that's what I expected.
Yeah.
I didn't expect
There,
more.
there's absolutely water added to this barrel at some point. It is not very strong, but
I'll just drink it.
Coors Light.
You don't see any reaction to it.
Yeah.
Just-
he settles in. He goes back to work serving some of the other people that have walked up to the bar.
And can I look around? How many are there? Like Buccaneers too? Like is it like a 2-to-1 again?
Make another perception check.
Just trying to get a feel for the place.
Yeah. A little bit more densely packed here. Some of these individuals have a number of scars and cuts. They cover an assortment of races, some men, some women. It varies. It's a very motley crew across here, but most people in here seem to be at least affiliated with the Buccaneers in some way. Might be 3-to-1.
Okay. Do anybody pay us any mind?
No. No one gives a shit about you guys.
No one gives a shit. Okay,
Yeah.
that's perfect.
I'm keeping my eye out to see if I see any other owlin.
At the moment, you do not.
Okay.
Not sure if one's nearby, but presently you do not.
Or no, are they just not giving a shit?
They just don't care.
Okay, great.
People are involved in most of their own conversations. Dunan, with your 22, you do notice that those patrons who are not members of the crew seem to be keeping to their own tables and their own groups. They're not engaging with members of the Buccaneers, likely because of what you learned from Eloise, that to get in a fight with one of the Devil's Buccaneers would be most unwise. So they're not putting themselves in situations where they could get in a fight.
If
Ideally.
the barkeep has another moment, I would like to ask him. I saw many people with that tattoo on their wrist. What's it about? We're kind of new here and just
Well,
something I saw.
welcome. It's the mark of being a crew member of Commodore's fleet. And anyone who serves under Lady C gets the tattoo. And if you betray her, well, we have to remove that tattoo, usually with the rest of the arm beneath it.
All right. And does it happen often that somebody?
Every now and then, it happens here and there, but the cost of such betrayals is rather steep. So most people stay loyal, and you get a good deal out of it. You get this nice place to drink and enjoy, and you get this nice city that you can be free in and not hunted by various guards of different Tautha that would rather string you up than let you be free. It's a good deal if you're looking for it.
And how does one become a member?
Well, you need to present yourself to one of the officers, one of the lieutenants. A lot of people also join up when we take their ships. At least they did in the past in my day. We would grab a ship. Some of the people would die fighting. Other people would be wise, not die, and join instead. It's how you build a fleet.
And the
You need people to crew
Lady
ships.
C, what's she like? Is she like tough lady or fearsome warrior or?
Lady C,
Yeah.
she's not one you want to cross, even on your best of days.
I thought as much.
I don't think she was born born with a bone of mercy in her body. But
Right.
that's what makes a good captain. Oh, Commodore, pardon me.
And she sticks to the citadel, I guess, right?
Well, she's not at sea.
Is she currently here? Try to meet her.
Not sure offhand. Mind you, she doesn't tell the likes of me too much. I'm just a lowly tavern keep. He buttons up his coat a little bit, hides the pendant that he's wearing. I've only spoken a few words with her in the last few years. She's not one to come down and drink with the likes of us. Sort of pours himself a small, sort of wooden cup of some type of liquid and throws it back. Well, I thank you for that, but this place is for the deckhands, the crewmates, the people who, excuse me, can't quite control their violent urges, which is fine by me. Kin after me own.
Well, thank you very much. I'll have another ale and I'll leave you to it until I need the next one.
I'll be here. All right. Make me an insight check.
Yep. Let's screw up.
No, you're good. Just based on your conversation, and his behavior, he's seems to be definitely hiding something. You suspect he's probably a little more closer, maybe a lot more closer, to Lady C than he lets on for anyone in this establishment. Something to do with
pendant.
Something to do with that necklace.
Yeah. Okay. So
Yep.
much.
Yeah.
Question is, why does he want to hide it? Well,
Pretty
ladies,
sure
any-
he's gonna go run to her and tell her that these weirdos that just came into town are asking around.
just ask some
So.
regular question. I mean, we are new here and don't want to tip on somebody's toes, right?
That's true.
All right.
Don't think that were weird questions, but
Oh.
I'm not the smart one, so
Neither is Helly, so it's okay.
I don't know how to go about and ask. You know what? Try to break in the citadel.
You're asking who?
Let's see what.
Sorry?
Who are you asking this to?
I'm whispering to Heli.
Oh, okay. I thought you were asking the bartender for a moment.
No, not the bartender. No. How do we break into the citadel?
Yeah.
Well.
Tang does want to pop up onto a stool. She's decided to get a drink. And while he's pouring it, she's gonna ask exactly how you join the brigands.
The Buccaneers.
Buccaneers, thank you. Starts with a B.
The Devil's Buccaneers, yeah.
Devil's Buccaneers. Close enough.
Well, Missy, you gotta be decent with the blade or of useful some other way. Not just anyone. No, that's not true. You can be useful in most ways if you can hold a rope. Let's be fair. But you need to present yourself to one of the captains. You can find them all over the docks here if you'd like to join. Get you all inked up, and you follow orders based on whoever you joined up with. There's a number of captains underneath.
I look at my arms. I don't know that a tattoo would work very well on me.
I was just thinking that, like, where would you put a tattoo on an owlin?
We'd have to figure that out.
The foot?
Sort of glances. Yeah, he sort of glances down towards your feet. Maybe down there. No feathers on the talons.
Leathery clawed legs.
Probably down there. Which would just mean...
Do you have any say on who gets to join?
I mean, it's a captain who you join up with.
Do you have any recommendations?
Although I must say, I'm not much of a fighter. I'm a healer.
Ah,
What's
well,
LSF short?
I mean,
Have obliterate 1 or 2 foes?
you could probably, if you can demonstrate that to any of the captains, I'm sure anyone you approach would be happy to have you. In that case, healing is a useful art, especially at sea. Not too many of us get in scrapes on the waves themselves. Most ships will typically try to surrender. It's just the ODMC every now and then. They don't go down without a fight.
Well,
That
there's
was
much to
years
gain
back
from
though.
an ODMC ship, I guess.
Huh?
So, I said there's much to gain from an ODMC ship, right?
Oh, there's
So we
plenty.
kinda defended
Jewels,
very well, I guess.
goods. They've taken this hard line stance of never surrender, fight down to the last man. But I mean, we got a number of former ODMC people amongst the crew now, so fight to the last man don't always go that well when you're the last person. Facing down a crew of the Buccaneers, fighting by yourself against them, most people are more than willing to join at that point instead of die.
Who are the captains or lieutenants? Some famous ones or your favorite, let's say.
Gonna tell you for certain. Pick a ship, go under it. You could ask them out. We get new ones all the time. Sometimes people die, get promoted. It all changes. Like I said, I've gone to sea in a good number of years. Not my bag anymore. My legs going on me. Can't stay steady on the ship anymore. Make a persuasion or deception check, either or. You're asking a lot of questions at this point. He's trying to get a read on you.
On all of us, or
The general group. I got a roll.
Okay.
15. Okay. Let me know if any of you need a refill.
Sure.
Excuse me. He goes about tending to other patrons. He goes and deals with a Triton female, serves her some drinks, and continues working along the bar.
that's
Ellie,
very chipper.
Helly turns to you and say, "Why in the world would you want to join? Okay, are you just doing research?" That was kind of an odd question coming from you.
I mean, it might not be a bad inn.
Well, might get us into the Citadel without having to break in.
I don't
But
think
then if we desert,
I don't think we can
then
join that
we're
fast.
doubly fucked.
I mean, you know who's been doing okay.
Mm, yeah. Let's just see what Aeolus and Siegfried think about all of this, and Jaya. I'm kind of uncomfortable at this point going any further without discussing their thoughts with them.
It's just
Me as a player.
information. Yeah, I was just getting information.
Yeah. I think we should try to lay a little lower at this point. Just my
That's
intuition.
good, yeah.
Did you guys sense anything off at the herbalist?
I was not really engaged in conversation with her, so. Nah, not really.
Okay.
Did you?
Maybe it was just me.
Did you get
What did
any
you feel?
weird vibes?
It's not that I felt anything. She had a really interesting ring. I couldn't really make out all the runes, but some of them had to do with extraplanar travel. I'm curious.
Yeah, I
wonder-
noticed that and wondered if it was just like her husband's ring and he's dead. Sometimes that happens. It did look out of place on her hand, for sure. I was thinking about how good it would look on mine, honestly, but
I was getting flashbacks to the last time you had to deal with hags, but that's maybe completely off base.
A hair herbalist?
I'd like to swing back by there, maybe tomorrow.
Back to the herbalist. Oh, not right now.
Not right now. I mean, we could go right now, right? We have time.
Yeah, you got plenty of time.
I just before I go in the next time, I'm gonna cast detect magic so I can collect some more information.
Certainly. Okay.
yeah.
Say about an hour has
That's a good
passed
idea.
since you were there previously. You make your way back to the shop that has taken over the establishment, Herbologist Haven. And you said you were casting Detect Magic spell slot before you go in?
Before
Okay.
I go in, yeah.
You step inside. Oh, something you forgot. Anything else I can interest you in?
I did actually. I'm hoping to pick up some poppy from you.
Certainly. Uncommon.
Yes, I believe.
Okay.
Let me check. N-O-P. Everything's. Oh no, it's common. We're good.
Kind of easy enough. A silver for use. Certainly. Let me bundle some up for you. Using your detect magic, you notice most of the pots, that she has arrayed here seem to have a very small enchantment upon them. Some type of evocation magic. You suspect something to help the plants that is set within the pot grow to an extent. She has no particular auras about her. You do notice with your perception the ring that she was wearing is gone.
I casually make a comment that her ring is. She seemed like her ring is not there. It was absolutely gorgeous. I had to tell you.
Oh, thank you. It wasn't mine. I was actually asked to see if I could find it. Where's the best spot to make sure I didn't misplace it or get it lost somewhere? Thatch swung back around. He was supposed to pick that up with the plants earlier. I think he forgot, slipped my mind when I was showing you the place.
Oh, that makes sense. It didn't really suit you. No offense. Your hands are just so much more slender than that ring is designed for.
None taken. It's all right. I was asked to see if I could try to find it and source it. Managed to get a hold of it, but it wasn't for me. Thatch was supposed to grab it. But yeah, it wasn't really my style either. I'm not really a ring person in the first place.
That's
Necklace,
fair.
bracelet.
I do too much with my hands.
Necklace, bracelet, earrings. We could talk. I could talk all day about it, but yeah.
Do you know where
I'm
I
always
could find
dirty.
a similar ring? I would really love to get one for my companion, Heli.
That style. I'm not sure. I mean, I had people out and about looking for that. I don't really have a jeweler here. Most jewelry comes in from trade or plunder, and then it gets sold.
Where did you people find that one?
I didn't ask. Make an insight check.
Maybe I could ask the person who received it.
You have to try to buy it off Lady C.
So it was going to Lady C.
Okay,
yeah, you said
make an insight check. Yeah.
Okay. I'm luckying it because I do not
Sure.
have a lot of insight.
+5. It's wisdom. You gather she's evasive about where they acquired it. She's definitely being hiding or obfuscating some degree of information there. She probably knows where it was acquired, but she's not being forthcoming with that information.
Okay.
Little bit too much detailed questioning has sort of thrown her off a little bit, so she's decided to withhold something.
Okay. That I do not pry. I do not push. I want to maintain a good relationship with her. I thank her very much for her time and for the poppy, and give her an extra silver
Cheers.
beyond
I-
what
If
she's
I
charging.
if I come across another ring like that for Heli, was that the big one that was with you? Um, I'll see if I can grab it for you. Do you know how much you want to spend just in case?
I don't think price is an object.
Okay,
At
good to
least
know.
very dear to me.
Good to know. I'll keep an eye out anytime I stop
Aw.
into the wharf.
Thank you very much.
My
I
pleasure.
appreciate you.
Bye bye.
So chipper.
Tang bounces off down out the door and she takes flight.
You poppy off.
Yeah, I poppy off. Thank you for that.
All right.
Um,
Dunan and Heliwrast as Tang bounded back quickly to the herbologist Avon to inquire. You find your attention drawn to a squat stone building near the edge of the market while you're waiting for her. It's not quite near the immediate waterfront, but it's close enough. There's a faded blue roof and a door that is flanked by nautical and ship items, a few old nets, and some rusty-looking harpoons. A small sign painted that's next to the front door identifies the place as the Broken Compass.
it looks
What's that supposed to be?
The Broken Compass is the name of the shop.
Yeah, but is it it's not a tavern? Oh, it's a shop.
It's a
Okay.
seems to be a shop of some type. It's there's not an icon. It's just painted on the sign.
Oh, okay.
No. And you stop in. If you take a look inside, you can determine if it's a tavern or a shop or anything.
Yeah, I'll go in. That's just curious.
Yeah.
It's a bit of a tight fit. As you step in, a single pathway leads sort of winding through the shop itself. It's cluttered with all manner of navigation instruments, maps, sea charts. A few of the ones that are rolled out or hung and tacked up have astonishing detail. Others strangely ornate, but details which on it that you suspect are probably wrong or out of date. The whole place smells of oil and parchment. There's a dusty counter at the top. At the back. And there's a wizened, old-looking dwarf. Let me double check. Yeah, quite old-looking dwarf. Hair tufts coming out of his ears, thinning on top, and he's sort of got his hair combed over slightly, and rather knotty-looking beard that's sort of been really roughly braided into 3 braids, left, center, right. As he sort of gazes at a group of you squinting, fishes around in the desk behind him, puts on some spectacles, blinks a few times. Hello, sort of raises his left hand towards the group of you, or the two of you. What can I do you for? Welcome to the Broken Compass.
Well, we're kind of intrigued by the exterior of your shop. What exactly?
Is something wrong with it? I didn't think I had much.
No, very intriguing.
Oh, okay. This is Broken Compass. Have all manner of sea charts, maps for the region, waters from here to far afield. If you are a skilled navigator, I can supply you with the appropriate instruments that if you are lacking,
And
a little
do
bit
you
of
have a
everything.
map from Brigand Hold?
Uh, I have a map of like the waters of the island, not like
No.
different shops. That changes. I mean, I have a map of the waters around here and the different islands and the storm string. Would you like to purchase that? It's not cheap, but I'd be happy to sell it.
I'm not really interested in the surroundings, more on the island itself.
Hmm. Yeah, so it's not that large of an island, truthfully.
Yeah, but we are new here. We kind of don't know our way around, and the map might help us navigate through, the city.
Oh,
the
yeah,
island.
I don't have touristy maps. Sorry.
Mm,
How about you, Missy? Do you want to buy a map?
mm.
Looking at you, Heliwrast.
Do you have
No.
like old maps maybe from the island?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's something maybe that's not that looks cool on a wall, but doesn't necessarily have to be accurate. Got anything like that?
Yeah. How big? You want the Stormstring Isles? You want Stormstring and a quad? I got a little bit of everything. Some of them are out of date and don't have everything on it, but be a nice wall piece, I suppose.
Can I, while he's talking, can I look at his hand? Does he have the tattoo?
Make a perception check. 26. You've only seen his left hand during this entire conversation. His other arm is sort of underneath the desk, and like he had rummaged for his glasses with his left hand as well. With a 26, as his attention is focused on Heliwrast for a moment, and you're just sort of shifting around, like careful not to knock over one of these tables of everything. You see that this wizened old dwarf is missing his right hand.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So he kind of broke with the Buccaneers.
But yeah. What did you want I have a decent sized world map. It costs a bit, but it'd probably be your prettiest wall piece if that's what you were thinking.
How much? How much?
He's gazing at the two of you, sizing you up. I'd let it go for 80
suspense is
gold.
killing me.
It's a good map.
80 gold.
Good map.
Yeah, it's quite an expensive.
That's a little
It's
steep.
weather resistant.
I don't even have a home to hang it in.
It's waterproof.
Yet, but
It's not going to fall apart
Okay.
at sea if you need it. It's a steel. You're not. I mean, good luck trying to get a captain at the wharf to part with one of his maps. They're never giving them up until they make a newer, better one. That's when I get them. But, I mean, this is relatively decent. It's about 50 years old. You're not going to find your new one anywhere in town. Promise you that.
What size is it? Like, if it's all unfurled, you've got it all
Unfurled?
rolled out. How big is it?
About 4 feet by 2.5. It's a decent size map.
Decent size. I think it's a little too large
he sort of
for the wall that I'm thinking
he sort of
of.
measures it on the table. He doesn't actually unfurl it and give you a glance at the map, but he sort of shows you the size on the table with his hand, like about here to about here, like measuring the corners. His right hand, his right arm is still underneath the desk.
Maybe a little less, a little smaller, but that's like maybe less comprehensive.
Not with as much detail.
Something interesting.
Uh,
Something isn't
oh,
something. I'm looking for
it's.
something colorful. I'm being kind of. I'm
I mean,
looking for
plenty
something
comfortable.
that's going to
Choose.
look good in a room, not necessarily how accurate it is. She's pulling out her best interior decorator call.
I mean, your better option is to choose a bigger wall because something's going to look good if it is accurate and reasonable. Otherwise, things are just out of proportion. One island's too large, the other one's too small. It doesn't make sense.
Mm-hmm.
Accuracy is pretty.
You know,
That's the skill of a good map maker.
I'm going to have to get some measurements, but I will definitely be back. Now let's see here. I do need a serviceable compass for navigating.
Sure, happy
Doesn't have to
to.
be fancy. Doesn't just a serviceable.
There's a few on the table. Just past your feller over there. They're 10 gold a pop.
Okay.
You gather Heliwrast as you're sort of having a conversation, just glancing around the room as well. Most of the tools for navigation, maps, compasses, spyglasses, sextants, all of these things are not inexpensive. These are still finely made pieces of gear. They do not come cheap.
Yeah, this shop is not a front for something else. This is actually what he's selling, and it needs to be accurate. Okay.
Got a
Well, I didn't
number
want to
over
waste
there.
his time.
Take a pick. Yeah.
Don't have 20 gold on me right now.
Party has
Me,
gold.
I'm kind of broke.
I'm assuming the party has
Yep.
gold. So if you want to spend,
Unfortunately, you're a little pricey for us, sir.
they're 10 a pop, not 20.
Oh, 10 a pop. I still don't have that much. I'm
It's
not
anyway,
spending 100 silver just to cover up the conversation, unfortunately.
Oh, I have a random question. Good
Yeah,
sir.
yeah.
Does Briggenhold have like an underground system?
Uh,
I mean,
like sewers?
sewers and stuff. Yeah.
Oh, not a lot. No. There's some buildings have small pipeworks. I think the Citadel's got sort of a open concept where the shitters on exterior walls, so it just sort of falls down into the ocean. It's forgotten about. But not too much. It's a bit, but it gets smelly sometimes. I mean, I have a basement, but like it's not like it's connected to anything.
Yeah.
It's for my own use.
And how do they, I don't know, get stuff in and out to the Citadel? Is there like
Through the
through
gate.
the front door?
Yeah. I mean, how else would you?
How else would you? Yeah, it's weird. I know.
I mean,
What
citadels
we've
where
seen of it,
all
we
the
haven't
treasure
really
is.
seen any doors or any kind of what we would normally expect from something like that.
You
So we're
guys
just a
saw
little
the front
curious.
of the citadel, like near where you
Yeah.
came out, like
It
the
didn't look.
main
It didn't
portcullis
look
and
like it
everything.
was.
So,
Yeah, we don't have to say that.
Okay,
It's
gotcha.
just.
Wasn't
Okay,
sure if that
that's
was
a fair
Heliwrast
question.
not saying anything or you not knowing something.
No, that was Helly.
Okay.
theoretical question. How would
Yeah.
someone get in if they are not a buccaneer?
Not.
Obviously not through the front gate, right?
No way. You're gonna meet some of the more skilled members of the crew. Not savory individuals. Very.
Yeah.
There's significant lack of scruples.
Yeah. And let's say we kind of wanna, I don't wanna mess with that, right? But we're still interested in, the Citadel.
This Whole
Make
place is
a
fascinating.
make a
We don't want to get
persuasion
in
check.
trouble.
Make a persuasion check, Dunan.
What?
I'll say you have advantage because
Okay,
Heliwrast is
wait.
helping.
Advantage?
Yeah,
Awesome. Here goes.
24. Sort of pinches his eyes for a moment, raises his left hand, and snaps his fingers for a moment. You hear the door shut behind, off in the shop. You're looking
I
to
just
get
look back.
into the Citadel, sort of on the quiet side. You're burgling
Let's say
something,
we have some
right? You're burgling
business
something. You're
in
stealing
there.
shit. You're taking shit,
Oh,
right? Right?
well,
No.
we're looking for some shit. Let's call it that
Well,
way.
hypothetically, if you're looking for shit and someone helps you to look for that shit, it gives you a way to look for that shit. You'd look for other shit for that person or persons, yes? Hypothetically.
Hypothetically that can be arranged.
Alright. The Citadel's warded. No
Magically
teleporting.
worded.
Yeah, no teleporting in or out. Very nasty business.
That's a very good.
Saw a would-be burglar just barely make it out at one point.
Mm-hmm. So
Tried
the
to
only
teleport
way
into the main courtyard. Stupid spot. I think it was all you could see. Stupid spot. Teleported in. Tried to. And got pinched halfway through. One of his legs was outside, and his face was inside. Left a nasty scar. He managed to escape, but I mean, he pulled himself back out. Couple incantations, and he was squared away.
nasty scar where?
On his face.
On his face.
Yeah, his face got slashed because his face showed up in the courtyard by itself, like looking through a window. There was the rest of his body was somewhere in the ethereal in between. It was fucked up. He
Curiosity.
was an idiot.
What race was he?
Human feller, I want to say. Maybe half elf. Good. Was no. Something like that happens, you scatter. You get away so that way you don't get lumped in by association. Otherwise, this shit happens and he shows you the stump of his right arm, which is about halfway down his forearm.
Right.
Don't cross
Don't
them in a way that you get caught. Or you don't want to even risk being associated, even if you had no intention. They don't play around. But
we got
that warden, as far as I know, doesn't go everywhere. Now, you can try to get a different way around.
Can teleport.
Nah,
teleport out.
Not teleport. Depends how risk averse are you.
Well, we're kind of discussing how to break into the citadel, so you kind of get the picture, I guess.
I can tell you how and get you started and try to get you back out. But it's real dangerous from that point. All the in-between. You could walk right through the front gate and no one be the wiser if you didn't teleport. You have to go through, in negative ethereal. It's a overlaid plane here. So it's like a reality that layers on top of this reality. It's the space that teleportation happens through, right? But if you stay there, stay on that space, I bet you can get through. Because it seems like the ward only stops you when you're trying to come out of it.
Now,
that's the ticket.
Interesting as that theory is, has it been tested or is it just a hunch?
It's been tested in theory. I mean, it's probably dangerous. From what I understand, that is a hostile environment to things that are not native to it. That's why teleportation's quick. You're in and out, so you don't suffer the effects. But any negative effects of that sort of space, you'll be exposed to long term. You don't want to stay in there long. You know what I mean? Might go crazy or worse.
So
you die
that's
and no
our
one would
way.
ever find your body.
That's the theoretical way in. What's the theoretical way out then?
Oh, you stay in it.
You stay in it.
You stay in it until you come back here, and then I get you out.
And how would someone take shit if they're on another plane?
I don't know. That's for you to figure out. But I can get you there if you get me a book that I'm looking for.
That's the book.
A book. C's rumored to have it. I know she does. But it's sort of ghostly. I've been able to confirm its presence all the time. Every now and then I can confirm that it's about, but I know she's got it in there somewhere. I want it.
Don't tell me it's her favorite book by any chance.
I doubt it.
What does it look like?
What's it called?
Leather-bound book. There's no title. Leather-bound book. The nail in the front cover. There may or may not be a tongue nailed to it.
A tongue.
Yeah,
Somebody's tongue.
he sticks his tongue out. A tongue. It's nailed to the cover. I want it.
Oh boy. What could that book possibly be about? Well, doesn't matter. All right, you get us in, we get your book, and we look for our shit.
Yeah.
And then get out without anybody noticing. That's
the deal.
the theoretical plan, right?
That would be the deal. If you come out and you don't have that book, we're gonna have problems. I'll send you back in. Don't come out
And there
without
is
my book.
no back door in, like any. They must have some secret entrances somewhere
I mean,
from outside.
you're more than welcome to try. I think I got you. As long as you can figure out if you can get stuff while in the negative.
We might have a companion that might be able to help with that.
Now, yeah,
They are not here presently, so we kind of have to get back to them
And discuss.
and discuss.
Yeah,
Sure.
some preparations to do as well.
I'll be around. Let me know.
So, how many people would you be able to get into? Because we are 6 in total.
I could do 6.
Okay.
I don't think I could do more than that. Leave that be it. It's a bit of a doozy. I can manage 6.
That should be enough.
All right.
While
He snaps his fingers again. The door. You get it. Door. So, did you want that map or no?
a lovely shop, but
80 gold.
Kind of short on money.
75.
Well, we'll get back to
73.
you in a
Final
bit.
offer.
Yeah, I'll get my money. I will be back in.
It'll be 81 if you come back and buy it then.
Yeah, well, sucks for me then.
It's all right. I know the moment Aeolus is back, he's going to insist on getting said map. So.
Oh, yes.
You'll make your money, don't worry.
All right, let's call a session there as the
Yeah.
group of you
Yeah.
reconvene and presumably share the information that you've gathered here. here and there
Yes.
amongst the three of you, and we'll pick up there
We
next
need
And
to
you
talk
made
to
a
the
decision.
half-elf that's in the same inn as we are.
time.
I think he made it in.
Alrighty.
Mhm.